Today we're going to be taking a look at the best wiring options for your 2016 Nissan Altima. So here we're going to have the Tekonsha, and here we're going to have the Curt kit. Now both of them are going to give us a 4-pole flat trailer connector at the back of our car. Now both of our kits are designed to stay on the inside of the car at all times until we're ready to use it. So once we're ready to use it, we're going to open up our trunk and we're going to drop down our 4-pole connector. It'll be ready to hook up to our trailer. Whenever we're not using it, we can simply open up our trunk, tuck it underneath the carpet, and it'll be out of the way. So now that we've seen what the end result is, let's go and take a closer look at some of the differences between our two kits. First thing we're going to notice that both of our kits are going to have a converter box. Now, the one thing I do like about the Tekonsha is the box is a little bit smaller, and they give us a little bit more room and leeway of how we're going to mount it. Each kit is going to provide you with some double-sided sticky tape that you can mount to the back of the box and then mount to a flat surface, but Tekonsha has also taken that into thought and added this small tab to where you can actually take a zip tie or a self-tapping screw and use this little eyelet to attach it to whatever surface you see fit. With the Curt, however, it's just going to be a flat rectangular box. It's not too thick, but we're not going to have the option of zip tying it unless we go all the way around the box. Another thing about the Tekonsha that I really like is if we look at the end of the converter box where the wires are going in, you'll see that it kind of has this epoxy material. Now that's potting material, and this entire converter box is filled up with that, so all the circuits are going to be protected. Even if it comes to us driving down bumpy roads, it's going to be able to absorb that shock a lot better and give us a lot longer life. Whereas with the Curt, we can kind of move the wires out of the way a little bit, and you can just kind of see a little bit of a gap in there, which is okay. We're not really going to have to worry about any kind of elements getting to our wiring since it is going to be on the inside of our vehicle, but it doesn't have that potting material, so it's not going to give us that little bit of extra protection. Now we're going to have a signal coming from our car to go out to our 4-way flat so we can have a working signal at our trailer. Now the way that's going to work is we're going to have these T connectors, one behind each tail light. So we're just going to unplug your tail light, and this is actually going to go in between your tail light and your factory wiring. Now there's not a big disadvantage or advantage to either one of the kits here because they're both going to use the same style and they're both going to have the exact same plugs because they have to match our vehicle. The only thing I can see that Curt does have an advantage with over the Tekonsha here is that the Tekonsha has this big plastic piece right here, which we haven't found it to be an issue, but it may come into interfering behind the taillight and connecting everything up. Where the Curt here is a lot more sleek and in line where it comes by the connectors here. Both of our kits are going to come with a pre-installed ring terminal on our ground wire. It's going to be the white wire that's coming off the converter box. And the only major difference here is that our ring terminal is going to be closer to the driver's side connector on the Curt, whereas with the Tekonsha, it's going to be coming directly off the converter box, and it's going to be a lot closer to the converter box rather than the connector. Now we're going to have one more wire coming off our converter box. This black wire here is going to be where we're going to get our power from, and we're going to have to run that up to a 12-volt power source, typically the battery. Now each kit does come with a length of wire, as well as a fuse holder, all the connectors, and a fuse to get it in place. Both our kits are going to be fuse protected because they are going to have that fuse holder that we're going to put in between our battery and the rest of our kit. And the Curt is going to come with a 10 amp fuse, whereas the Tekonsha is going to come with a 15 amp. Now, the only thing that's going to be a benefit of that is if your trailer does have a lot of lights on it, you're going to be able to pull that much more power and not have to worry about blowing the fuse because it will have a higher rating. Now, when it comes to the 4-pole flat wiring, our Tekonsha is going to give us a little bit more wire than the Curt, so we are going to have a little bit more leeway of where we mount our box and getting the 4-pole flat wiring out of the trunk and at our hitch. Now the Curt does give you plenty of 4-pole wiring to get it out. You just want to be mindful of where you mount your box so you do have enough to route it outside of the trunk and meet up with your trailer hitch. Now one small detail that is different about both of our kits here is our Curt is going to have a dust cap that is included, and it is removable and replaceable. Whereas with the Tekonsha, it is going to be built into the 4-pole connector, But since it is on the inside, it is nice to have that dust cap, but I don't see a major issue because it is going to be on the inside of the vehicle. So to sum everything up, if ease of installation is a big concern of yours, I think either one of these is going to be a good choice because they are going to install the same, and it's going to be relatively simple, just taking a few panels out from the inside of your trunk. Now, if vehicle protection is a big concern of yours, again, either one of our kits are going to be a good choice because they're going to have that fuse that's going to protect the system, but there's also going to be that converter box that's going to prevent any kind of electrical feedback to your car itself. Now, as far as the amperage rating or heavy-duty use, I think that Tekonsha is going to take it here because it does have that higher amperage rating, so it's going to be able to handle a lot more lights on your trailer. If construction is a big concern of yours, I would definitely go with the Tekonsha just because of that extra peace of mind because of the potting material inside the converter box, giving it that bit more protection against any kind of jarring or bumpy roads and even the elements, even though it's going to be on the inside of the car. And that'll finish up your look at the best wiring options for your Nissan Altima.
Thanks for watching. Click the link in our description below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com. And leave us a comment if you have any questions.